All right, everyone. I think we're gonna start getting everyone back connected. It's about 12:11. So hopefully you guys have had a good lunch. I know half an hour never seems like enough. So feel free, if you're still eating, feel free to eat while we do this next part of our update. More than welcome to eat and watch. If you're presenting, it might be kind of tough, but if you're watching, feel free to keep eating. But let's get everyone start to get connected. Maybe just heads up to go grab your next cup of coffee or tea or whatever you need to get through this next hour and a half of exciting presentations. And as we are starting to get counselors to reconnect, I just want to remind everybody to sign in again. I know I feel like we do this over and over and over again, but part of my agreements with OPI on credit tracking was to have you do sign-ins throughout the day. So thanks for signing in again. Feel free to put your name and your high school. Great. We're getting everybody connecting back in. Thanks, everyone. Great to have you back again. I have to say, I really miss having meals with all of you and sharing laughs together. It wasn't quite the same eating my cup of noodles at home. So we're just gonna have to celebrate extra for our next counselor update. All right, getting everyone. So we'll give a few more minutes just to give everybody a little grace to get back connected. Looks like we're getting most everyone back. Thanks everyone for coming back. Gosh, I just love learning about what we have in the state. I would go back to school for the rest of my life, I think. All these great programs. I was trying to think which, I think it was SKC that said they had a drone program where they were teaching how to use a drone, which I need to take that class, I think. My little nephew is better at flying a drone than I am. All right, looks like we're getting everyone. Good work. Okay, we'll give just a minute or two more. I think we said we'd start at 12:15. So give everybody another minute to get settled. I have to say, I've been watching the Flathead High School group, and I think even the Glacier team. I don't know if you guys, I can see your room, so hello over there. It looked like you guys were working through a good chunk of lunch. I see waves. Hi, guys. Looked like they were doing some work during lunch, so good work. All right, well, we are officially 12:15. So I know some of you, it looks like, are still eating, so feel free, keep eating. I want to honor your time and respect your time today. So we're going to get started. Again, a reminder to any counselors who just rejoined, make sure you sign in, put your name and the school in the chat so we have you logged in for this part. With that, I want to welcome you back to the counselor update and this afternoon hour and a half that we have a very, very special time with so many great agencies, resources, who are coming together to help offer this event. We couldn't do it without them, but also help you help students. And so they're going to share some really exciting updates, announcements, but also resources to help you help students, especially in this time. So really big thank you out to all the agencies and support services folks who are here with us today, this afternoon. Before we get started, being that I know we have some counselors who have been jumping in and out, I want to make sure everybody understands the format for today and where we're at. Right now, we're in the part of the agenda that's the Montana announcements section. And just to refresh so everybody's on the same page, is we are on day 1 of the counselor update, and we already did the 2-year public colleges and community colleges. We did the Montana tribal colleges. We did the Montana 4-year public and private colleges, and we're now to the Montana agencies and major announcements. So we're going to go through that, and then that will end today. I want to remind you to post your questions in the chat. Feel free to post any questions you have, ideas, thoughts, whatever it may be. Both presenters and counselors can post. That's a big part of today, is that interaction. So don't hold back and don't be shy. I want to also point out, just as a reminder, because I know this session ends quickly and then everybody's off to their next thing, is there is a day 2 portion of the counselor update. If you didn't sign up for day 2, you can still attend day 2. You can just go in and register for day 2 as well if you decide you are able to attend that. If you already signed up for it, great. You'll receive a link later today on connecting in for that. But basically, counselors, you connect in the same way you did today, which was by going to the virtual fair, clicking on day 2, entering that way. Tomorrow will be out-of-state colleges and universities, military branches, and several different specialized training programs and more. So excited to have that new piece part of this virtual event. I want to talk a little bit about where we're at on the agenda today and who's presenting in this part of the day. You'll see at the bottom of this, again, you all have received this ahead of time, so hopefully you know. As far as presenters go, hopefully we have all of our agencies connected and ready to go. We are going to go in alphabetical order here. So this will be the order we'll be presenting, and I'll introduce in between each transition. So don't worry, but excited to have you all here. Hopefully all the agencies are connected. We'll go through that and do introductions as we get going. So just a reminder about order of presentations. Again, reminder about tomorrow, 9 to 11. Sign up if you haven't done so. You can do it at the same registration link. I also want to do a quick plug for Thursday morning. So per many of you reaching out, you said, gosh, 3 minutes isn't enough for financial aid. 3 minutes isn't enough for general admissions or scholarship information. And that the update is meant to be a teaser for you to get more information. We jam a lot in a few hours so that you get quick updates. But we realize that there are topics and subject matters that deserve more time. And that's why Thursday morning, even though it's not officially part of the counselor update, if you decide you want more information about the financial aid that we hear about today, the MAFSA team and MUS team are going to be doing some presentations on Thursday morning. You'll see those. These are all linked again on that counselor update page, but also on the virtual fair page. So you can click and sign up for these as well. Students can attend as well. That's all live and ready there for you. There's some really great sessions on Native Pathways. American Indian College Fund is going to share some updates today, and I'm sure we'll introduce that session. We have our Montana colleges coming together to do an admissions tips and COVID-19 session that you or your students or parents could attend. These are all, again, free and in the virtual fair, which I'll talk about a little bit more in a minute because I want to make sure that everybody's on the same page for the virtual fair that's happening this week too. But then we have some great sessions from Department of Labor on Montana workforce needs. I would highly recommend this session. I attended this session at an event not long ago where it talked about our workforce needs in Montana and how it relates to college degrees and what's, it was really, really helpful to see what's coming, but also where the high job prospects are and where we need to start kind of guiding students and answering questions in that. And then they also are doing this session on MCIS, Reach Hires coming together to do an awesome scholarship session. So plug on those Thursday sessions, even though they're not officially part of the counselor update. Those would be a great additional option if you want to attend those. Let's talk a minute before we jump into actual sessions. I do want to announce the virtual student fair. I'll talk a little bit more about the September event and give you some stats in a minute when it's my turn to talk. But I do want to introduce this virtual event that's going on this week, just to make sure you have everything you need as you're guiding students and helping students to utilize this resource. All the information is at montanacolleges.com/virtual. I did want to point out, you've seen these schedules, you've had this link for several weeks. The newest piece that I wanted to point out is that now that we have all of the live sessions scheduled for this virtual fair, you can access this detailed schedule. You could even print it if you wanted to, on all the colleges that are presenting at what time. It's a really great option, and it's linked at this virtual montanacolleges.com virtual link. So you can access that anytime as well. So that's a really helpful tool if you're trying to help students, or you yourself are trying to see which sessions are happening at what times. Obviously, you can see that all in the virtual fair itself. It's just a little easier to see it all in one spreadsheet. So that's linked on this page as well. Again, if you have any questions about the virtual fair, I'm happy to stay on after the session ends today and answer any virtual fair questions. So I know the rest of the week that fair is going to be running through Friday with lots of sessions. We have over 300 live sessions that are going to be options for you, students or parents to utilize. I'll stay on after the session ends today for anybody who has specific questions about that. But I wanted to just give you a heads up and some updates on that. Also, before we get started, a few reminders, because we keep getting some questions on how does the OPI credit work, and because we're virtual this time, no worries, you can still get credit. You're gonna wanna fill out that credit form. We also are happy to reimburse you for your lunch today because we really appreciate you taking the time to be here. We wish we were sharing lunch with you in person. You just wanna fill out that form by the end of the week. And then it'll take us a couple weeks for us to get it processed and sent, both the credit form and your lunch refund. But that form is located at montanacolleges.com/update. All of the document links are under the event docs tab on that page. So if you just scroll down to the middle of the page, I think it is, all those links to the credit, lunch refund, but then also the evaluation. Again, please take some time to submit this evaluation. Hopefully you have it up and running on your screen throughout this whole event, and you're just submitting it as you go, and then at the end, do a final submit. So those were the couple reminders I wanted to share with you guys. With that, I am gonna stop sharing my screen and stop talking and get to the most exciting parts of this afternoon, and that is, we have brought together some of the most amazing resources and agencies that service education in Montana to help you guys. And so I want to firstly thank all of our partners and sponsors who have come together to help support this event, but support us in this journey and trying to help students in this time. So they're going to share some really exciting updates, some resources. Feel free again to post your questions. We're all here to help. So questions are welcome on both sides, from the presenter and the counselors, so feel free to use that. With that, enough of me talking. Welcome back. Excited to have you guys here. I am going to start off with a quick announcement from an agency that's actually not on our agenda, but wants to make a quick announcement and a special invite to you. So I think we have Mike Ort here, and he's going to do a quick special invite from PNACAC. Mike, are you here?
I'm still here. Thank you,
Mike,
Amy.
it's all you.
Hi, everybody. Like I said, I'm Mike Ort from Montana State University, but I am also the Inter-Association Chair for the Pacific Northwest Association for College Admissions Counseling, or PNACAC. So if you want to not have it be a mouthful, we're a regional organization that encompasses Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Alaska, and Montana. One of the big things with our organization the last few years is that we've been really trying to drive for our high school counselors to become more involved. We provide a lot of opportunities for professional development. We provide conferences. So for example, the next PNACAC conference, which was supposed to be this summer in Helena, is actually going to be in the summer of 2022 in Helena. So there'll be potentially hundreds of people coming in for that conference, COVID pending. So it's gonna be right in our backyard. And one of the things that we've really wanted to push in the last couple of years is getting more involvement from our high school counselors, like I said, especially our public high school counselors. So in that realm, we are actually waiving the membership fee for all public high school counselors. I'll put the link if you would be interested in joining, which I'd encourage you to do. I'll put the link in the chat. With it, it's an opportunity just to connect with colleges and other high schools across the region, especially in an area and a time when obviously we are we're constantly changing and we're changing what we're doing and we're adapting. I think having those resources out there available to us all is really, really important. So like I said, I'm going to put the link in the chat right now. You can go to that website. You can just hit join. You can sign up. You'll become a member of PNACAC. And again, you don't have to pay anything. So that's for our public high schools. So again, we're really excited about this opportunity and really hopeful that this can drive up some of our activity out of Montana. To be very, very honest, Montana as a state, our participation in PNACAC is definitely, I'm going to say, in the bottom of the 5. So we're hopeful this will be an opportunity for us to get more involvement. From a very selfish point of view, I want our state to be heard more because I think a lot of our challenges and a lot of our opportunities that we face for our students are very different from those that are coming from like a Seattle or a Portland area or something like that. Our students are very unique in a lot of what they do, and your positions are very unique in what you have to do to overcome that. So I'd like to have that voice heard a little bit more. So again, I definitely encourage you to join. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me just at my montana.edu email, which is in the counselor update guide. Let me know. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to answer any questions, and hopefully we'll see some new applications coming through soon. So I'll stick around for a few. If anybody does have questions, you can feel free to put them in the chat. If nothing else, Amy, I'll turn it over to you. Thanks for giving me a minute.
Of course. Thanks, Mike. And thanks for sharing that great resource. PNACAC's been a wonderful team and partner to MOPSOC over the years, and we really appreciate that. So, of course, would love to have our counselors be involved as well. And yeah, if we can help in any other way, let us know, Mike. All right. So next on our list to get us kicked off for this session officially, we have American Indian College Fund. And I think we have Shondae and Micheline together here today. Is that right?
Yes.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Well, it's welcome. We're glad to have you here. And thanks for all your team efforts. We sure appreciate you guys. And yeah, I pass it over to you to get us kicked off. You guys, just a reminder to all presenters, we're keeping it within 3 minutes time frame to try and keep respect everybody's time. So it's all you guys' floor.
Wonderful. Thank you all for having us. My name is Shondae Randall. I am Muskogee Creek, originally from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. I proudly serve as the Native Pathways Program Officer with American Indian College Fund. I love my job. This is my second year to get to work with MOPSOC and with Amy and everyone. So we really look forward to today's presentation. I'm going to turn it over to Micheline Pennington, our high school college choice coach.
Hi, everybody. Yes, thank you, Shondae. As Shondae said, my name is Micheline, and I am the high school college readiness coach. We're super excited to be here, and I also absolutely love working with the American Indian College Fund, and I have loved working with you, Amy. You have done an amazing job. And I just want to say thank you to all the counselors, everyone who's here this afternoon, and all the work that you're doing for students to get them college ready. So just to start, I want to give you a little information on what the American Indian College Fund is all about. So the goals at the American Indian College Fund are to provide Native students with resources and support that they need to be college and career ready and eventually become employable graduates, which probably comes along with a lot of the goals that you have as well. The American Indian College Fund was founded in 1989 and has been the longest serving charity to provide funding to Native students for higher education. We also provide holistic student services for students. So in the next 2 minutes, I'm going to try to get through as many resources as possible, but we have so many. So I just want to encourage you to reach out to us. Our contact information will be in the chat. So connect with us. We want to connect with you. The first program that I want to talk about is the High School College Choice Program, which is what I am the coach for. And we serve Native high school students who attend Bureau of Indian Education funded and/or reservation-based high schools. And we provide them with light coaching via text, email, and exclusive Native Pathways events, including some awesome, we have an awesome summer camp opportunity. We also provide them with various reminders and information about important college readiness events and opportunities, including FAFSA reminders and events, scholarship updates and reminders, and then additional steps that they can take to become college ready. Like I said, I'll put my contact information in the chat. So if you want to learn more about this program and share it with your student, I do have brochures that I'd be happy to share with you that you can share out to your students, but also other contacts that you have at your school who might want to share it with their students. Second, I want to touch on the Higher Pathways grant opportunity. So the Higher Pathways grant opportunity is available to Montana schools that are BIE funded and or reservation based. There are also Native organizations that serve Native high school students that can be eligible for this. I'm going to put a list of the schools that are eligible that haven't applied yet into the chat. So if you see your high school there, please send me an email. I might not have your contact information. And anyone from your high school can apply. So if you're a high school teacher, if you're a counselor, or if you're TRIO, then I encourage you to apply. It's a $3,000 grant to host college readiness events. And we know that everything is pretty virtual this year, so if you need help and support to make this event happen, then I encourage you to reach out and we can help you with that. I'm gonna put in some other resources into the chat because it looks like I'm running out of time. I don't know if you can hear my alarm here, but we'll put that information in the chat. And again, I encourage you to connect with us if you have any further questions.
Thanks so much, Micheline, and thank you, Shande. Thank you both for being here today and for offering your session later this week too. So definitely, if you're interested, counselors or students or parents, that's a great session to attend. Thank you guys for all your great work. Awesome. All right. Well, moving on, next we have maths and financial aid, and I think we have Jaime on here. Jaime, did you make it on?
I did make it on, Amy. Thank you.
Even after I sent you a trick link.
You did, but you can't keep me out.
Goodness, I am so sorry.
No, not a problem.
How dare I keep the financial aid folks out? That would never be my intention. So I'm glad you made it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad to be here. Thanks again, Amy, for inviting us to participate again with you guys. And I'm really happy to be with all you high school counselors here to give you a quick update. And as Amy mentioned, financial aid cannot really be covered in 3 minutes or 6 minutes or 5 minutes, maybe 5 or 6 years, depending on the circumstances. But I will do my best to give you the more important updates that you as high school counselors want to keep in mind moving forward. And I do want to put an additional plug in for our Q&A session on Thursday at 9 a.m. So if you don't mind, please save questions for them, unless you know they're very simple answers, then we can answer them today. Otherwise, any questions that you have already had or may have after my little time here, please write those down and come with them on Thursday, and we would be more than happy to answer those questions for you. So some of the updates that I want to mention this morning is that, whoops, I'm going to look too far ahead. So just a quick reminder on the FSA ID, it's still required to submit the FAFSA and get it completed. Both the student and the parent will need one. So for those of you who have already worked with students who have siblings in college, the parents do not have to create a new one. They just use the same one they created the previous year. And the student, I'm assuming, would not have one. Remind them that it's best to do it prior to starting the FAFSA, but you could definitely get that completed while filling out the FAFSA for the first time. It just makes it a little bit easier if they have that step taken care of out of the way prior to starting the FAFSA itself. Okay. There is the FAFSA demo site is available for you high school counselors to go in and view the FAFSA itself. I know a lot of you may have already created an account and actually completed a FAFSA as if you were a student yourself, just to get an idea what that looks like. That's completely fine as well. However, the Department of Education has created a demo site, and that website is available in the handouts with the user ID and password to get logged in. So you could view what the FAFSA looks like on the student side. You could see what it looks like to make corrections or edits if need be. And also you could check the status of what application would look like. So if there's ever any question and you're not too sure what it looks like, feel free to log on to that site and see what that looks like. There has been some enhancement to the FAFSA electronically, and believe it or not, there's still a paper version out there. And the idea is to protect the student and parents' information more than it had been in the past. So it does mask Social Security numbers a little bit better than it has in the past. It also does allow you to have notifications enabled now for the FAFSA. So you could set reminders if something wasn't completed correctly. You allow them to send you the reminders that something needs to be submitted or an update was not resubmitted if that was the case. Some of the other things to keep in mind that also has changed with enhancements that the FAFSA has done is they're working on improving the mobile app. So I don't know how many of you had the opportunity to utilize the mobile app with your students last year, maybe the year before. Like any mobile app, the first go around is going to have its bumps and bruises, but they have improved it significantly. So please keep that in mind if you do want to encourage students who would prefer to use a mobile app. The benefits of that is the student could do their portion, and then the parent could log in at a separate time and do the parent part of the FAFSA itself. Some of the other changes are with the tax form. So there's no longer a 1040A or 1040EZ, it's strictly a 1040 now. But with removing the 1040A and EZ, they added a schedule 1, 2, 3, and 4. So a lot of times, if parents aren't tax experts, they might not know if those schedules were completed. The FAFSA now knows which families did complete a Schedule 1, and it will automatically fill in that question if they use the IRS data retrieval tool. So again, encourage students to use that IRS data retrieval tool. A couple other major changes that were from last year, but I just want to remind all of you again, the deferment for cancer treatment for any student loans for both parent and students, the Children of Fallen Hero Scholarship, so for students whose parents passed away in the line of duty, as well as the tax form 4506T is no longer available for students to fill out to receive tax information and have them sent directly to the school. But fortunately, there's been some other changes that students can now submit tax returns to the school instead of a tax transcript. And then some of the other updates on the student loan side, interest rates have significantly dropped from previous years. The undergraduate interest rate now is 2.75. It's just the lowest I've ever seen personally, and the parent loan is now down to 5.3. So those are about 2% cut from this last year. So it does make the loans a little bit more competitive, well, quite a bit more competitive than maybe a private loan, since those interest rates are fixed as well. And those are the main updates that I wanted to kind of inform you guys on today. I know that was kind of quick and dirty. I wish I had a little more time to go a little more detail and explain things a little bit more, but out of respect of everybody else's time here, I'll end it here. And please remember, on Thursday, 9 a.m., we will have a Q&A section, and MUS will be there with us to kind of answer some questions and kind of field those out as well. So please try to make that if you can. And again, anytime you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any of our MASFA schools around the state with specific financial aid questions, because we are here to help you guys in any way we can. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Jaime. So appreciate you being here and doing the impossible. I don't know how you do financial aid in a few minutes, so I'm sorry to ask you to do that, but you did a great job, and really excited to attend your session on Thursday with MUS to talk about financial aid more. We all know how important financial aid is to this piece and how we help students together. So thanks for coming together, MAFSA and the whole team, and yeah, we look forward to seeing you then. Thanks, Jaime. All right. Next, we have the Montana Department of Labor and Industry and the Career Lab, and I think we have Donetta with us. Donetta, are you there?
Yes, I am here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Yeah, well, it's all yours. Welcome.
All right. So I see some names out there that look familiar to me, so I think some of you know what the Montana Career Lab is. But for those of you who don't, the Montana Career Lab is where you can go and get free career resources for K through 12th grade. And you also may have heard of the Montana Career Information System, or MCIS program, which is an online, a comprehensive online career exploration and assessment tool. And students can log in and have a portfolio where they can do all kinds of exploration on careers. They can find financial aid, all kinds of stuff in there. It's just really comprehensive. And we have multiple different site types. There's, oh no, my bird's making noise, sorry. So if you hear whistling, it's not me, it's him. Anyways, so we have, sorry, that totally distracted me. We have different site types. So there is a junior site type, which is 5th through 8th grade. And then we have a high school site type, which is for high school students. So that's mainly what we do. And then I just want to let you guys know that we're going to have presentations, and our first presentation is going to be today at 2, and it's the Montana Career Lab for beginners. So look for that. And then we're going to have several other presentations. So if you're interested in learning more about MCIS or the Career Lab, please join us for those. And if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out to us. I will put our Montana Career Lab website on the chat, and that is about it for now.
Awesome. Thanks, Donetta. I have to say, in all the years I've done a counselor update, I've never heard birds chirping in the background. That was a first.
Yeah, it's
Thanks
great.
for that.
I was hoping he would be quiet, but no such luck.
I love it. I think that's one of the bonuses of Zoom is you get to meet everyone's pets and kids. So say hi to your bird for us.
I will. Thanks for
Donetta.
having me.
Yeah, and thanks for all your team efforts. Yeah, and you guys are offering some really great sessions in the virtual fair too. So counselors, share that with your students and even parents. Really great option. Even if they're not interested necessarily in a specific college, offer some really great sessions on how to figure out what career they like. So thanks, Donetta. Awesome. All right. Next on the list is us, MOPSOC. And honestly, you guys have been hearing me talk a lot today, so I'm not going to take a lot of your time. I do want to ask you a couple questions, though. And so with my time and our time, what I would love is to ask the professionals, you guys, both colleges and counselors. Very rarely do we get you in one place with this time. That if I have a few minutes, what I would love is, instead of me talking at you, is to get your feedback on these virtual events that we have honestly thrown together very fast. And we know we had to do that quickly, and we know we couldn't do it perfect. But our September virtual fair was the first virtual event we have ever done. And obviously this counselor update virtual and a student affair around this is also first time for us. And we don't know how long COVID will go, but there's a good likelihood that we will be doing another virtual fair some point in the winter or early spring. And we want to make sure we're doing this the best service to you guys and students. So what I have to ask for you with my time today is if you could share one thing you really like about the virtual fair and model for you and students, and maybe one thing you don't like that we think we could improve. And if you have any ideas on how we could improve it, if you would put it in the chat right now, I would love that, both from the college side, if you're still on, agency side, and counselors who have participated in these events. I'd love your feedback because we want to make this as best as we can, and we're learning together. So please share. I will say that the September event, for being our first, we had over 3,000 students participate, hundreds of parents. We had over 9,000 different interactions in the site. Gosh, we had over close to 8,000 live sessions in the last fair. We're going to be over 1,000 live sessions combined with this October event. So definitely a lot of resources. It's more of a question of how we service you. So please share your feedback. I would love your thoughts right now. That is all I ask of you in this moment. The last question I'll ask and leave you with is, if we do another virtual event in the winter, put in the month or time frame that you think would be best for you and your students. That's all I've got, you guys. Other than that, thanks for all your team efforts in this crazy time. We couldn't do what we do without you, and we rely a lot on you, and COVID-19 has required you to do even more. So please know we're here to help. If you've got any ideas of things we haven't done, just know MOPSOC is here and open to any ideas of how we can help you more. Thanks for all you do. All right, with that, moving on to next in our list is Montana Registered Apprenticeship Program. And I think we have Cole with us. Cole, are you out there?
I'm here, thank you.
Hi, Cole, welcome. Glad to have you here. This is your first counselor update with us.
It is.
Well, welcome. Well, you officially have the floor, so I'll let you take over.
All right, well, thank you.
Thanks, Cole.
So I'm with Montana Registered Apprenticeship Program. We're actually housed with Department of Labor over there with Donetta. And unfortunately, I guess we're competing with our presentations at 2 this afternoon. I guess we should have coordinated a little better. But Anyhow, so Registered Apprenticeship in Montana has been around since 1941. And since we have 3 minutes, we're going to go through the entire history of the program. No, I'm just joking. Really, what we do is it's a structured on-the-job training coupled with some required technical instruction. And there's a lot of numbers and kind of calculations that go into that. We're going to be going over some presentations later this week, so happy to discuss that further in that time. But basically, it's a way for people to earn money while they're going and getting their education. A lot of our programs are connected with two-year colleges here in the state. And some of our youth programs are actually connected with the high school, and the students can start working on a career while they're in high school. Basically, anyone 16 or older is eligible to get into a registered apprenticeship program. And ultimately what we're going to need is we're going to need an employer that's willing to train them. So we do have sessions this week. And so this afternoon, we'll just be doing a general overview of what apprenticeship is. Tomorrow, we're going to have one of our plumbing sponsors and one of their apprentices on to kind of discuss what the value is to the employer and why the apprentice chose to go the apprenticeship route. On Thursday, we're going to be having some partners from Columbia Falls talking about how they connected their career and technical education course to a pre-apprenticeship program up there. And then on Friday in the morning, we're going to have MSU Northern on there with us talking about the connection to some of their college programs and apprenticeship. And then in the afternoon, we'll have one of our healthcare intermediaries, Montana Health Network, discussing some healthcare occupations. So happy to go over anything. Really just kind of want to let students know it's an option, and you don't have to just be a construction worker to be an apprentice. You can apprentice in about any occupation that you want to. So with that, I'll hand it back over to you, Amy. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Cole. Thanks for being here with us today, and excited to have you guys part of this virtual experience to help students together. So thanks for being here. All right. So next on our announcements, we have a great visit from Montana School Counselors Association. And I think we have Kara. I think I see you, Kara. Hi.
Hey.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, I have 3 minutes. Is definitely not going to be long enough to say what I need to say, but I'm going to attempt to do this. So here we go. I'll set my timer. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Kara Morgan. I am a school counselor at Alberton School and the assistant chair on the Montana School Counselor Association Board of Directors. MASC has been doing some really fun and new and exciting things. One of the best things that I enjoy celebrating is School Counselor of the Year and Advocate of the Year, which has obviously looked very different this year because we usually get to celebrate with these people at our annual conference in the spring. The Montana Advocate of the Year recognizes individuals who contribute to the implementation and improvement of school counseling programs. These individuals demonstrate their belief in and support of school counseling programs that impact school counselors and their students at the local, state, and national levels. And while I'd like to promote MASC at this time, the real reason I'm bringing this up is that our Advocate of the Year is actually on this call. And since we didn't get to celebrate them in the spring at a conference, I'm actually here to let you all know that Amy Leary has been chosen as our Advocate of the Year. So I would love to share what was said about our lovely advocate at this time.
That's awesome.
Amy Leary cares about people and about harnessing the institutions and individuals in our state to reach more of our collective potential and find excellent post-secondary opportunities for our state's young people. She is a kind and thoughtful leader who's reliable, hardworking, and cheerful. She also has a great knack for thinking strategically and figuring out how we maximize our resources in support of our students. She works tirelessly to build partnerships that strengthen our state's culture of college going and post-secondary attainment. And let's remember that professionally, she's made the acronym MOPSOC into a name synchronous with good work and accomplishment. We're a better state because of Amy Leary. Amy truly embodies what it means to be the Montana Advocate of the Year. She's been a champion of access and partnership as the leader of a nonprofit organization representing 25 institutions of higher ed across the state of Montana. Amy is changing the world by connecting, educating, and empowering individuals, institutions, and organizations through their common connection of service to students to ensure knowledge of the opportunities after high school. Amy tirelessly coordinates that statewide college fair that serves students and educators and community members across the state by bringing higher ed and career experts to a multitude of locations to share opportunities and information. After the college fair, she facilitates us and professionals across the state with the update that we're doing right now, empowering both sides of the desk to network digitally and share updates and collaborate for Montana's students. Amy's one of a kind, beautiful on the inside and out. She's a true advocate and supports and promotes at all levels, a lifelong learner herself. Her dedication to professionals on both sides of the desk is evident in everything she does. Thank you, Amy, and congratulations.
Oh, Carol, you made me cry. Oh, wow.
So I'm sorry I lied to you. We just wanted to commandeer this time and to celebrate with the hundreds of people across the state.
Wow.
And your brother's on the phone, I think.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I've talked to your mom. She's a wonderful lady. So we're all here to celebrate you. So thank you.
Oh, well, I'm speechless. Wow. Well, I can thank you all so much. It's an honor to team with all of you. If anything, this is an award to all of you for all the good work you do. It's my true honor to team with you. Thank you. I'm speechless, which you know is hard to do. So thank you, Kara. And thank you to all of you. That was very moving. I think we're gotta move on now before I cry anymore, but thank you very much. I'm very honored. All right, Kara, did you get what you needed to say for MSCA? Did you have anything else?
No, that was our plan the whole time, so we're good.
Geez. Oh, well, let me plug MSCA. We have been partners for many, many years, and you offer such great services to counselors. And as friends and family, please take a look at MSCA if you're not part of it. I know they gave away 2 great free memberships with us this last virtual event, and just excited to team with them going forward. And if you're not part of it, take a look at MSCA. They'd offer great resources for counselors, especially in this time. And thank you again. Very honored. All right, enough of me. I feel like I gotta step away for a minute. With that, I want to move on to our next presenter. Again, thank you all very much. Means a lot. So with that, I want to bring up our next presenter, who is a great partner of ours and has been for probably since the inception of our organization and support of counselors and colleges across the state, is MUS and the Montana University System and Gear Up. They come together to help fund and promote and sponsor a lot of these events, and we couldn't do it without them. So with that, I want to pass it over. I think we have Maria and Angela here today. Is that right?
Yes, both of us are on.
Hi, good to see you both. We put Angela on the spot earlier today.
I have answers to questions.
Oh, good, good. But I will pass it over to you guys. Thanks for being here and all your great work, especially in this time.
Thanks, Amy. Kind of hard to follow that. Thanks a lot, Kara. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so I'm Maria LaRose. I'm the College Access Senior Program Manager for OT for the Montana University System. And we do put on the things like College Application Week, FAFSA completion, all of that. So excellent job on College Application Week this year. We extended it so that it was 2 weeks instead of the typical 1, so that schools that are in hybrid situations and virtual situations can meet with their students. We had over 8,300 applications just through the central app of Apply Montana this year. So well done to all of you. We are going to do a second round of College Application Week, November 16th through the 20th, for schools specifically that had to go into surprise lockdowns because of COVID. So if that is your school, that's your situation, please reach out to us and let us know. We'll get you added to the list. Right now we have a list of about 6 or 7 schools that's their situation. So we're working with campuses to see if we can get fees waived for that week for those particular situations. The next thing on the list is if you participated in College Application Week, please make sure we get your data. Please, please, please. We use that data to design future events, to inform our decisions, to let our national partners, the American College Application Campaign, know what's going on. And we also use it to choose a school of excellence. last year's School of Excellence was Hardin High School. I saw Laura and Lance on here earlier. So they had 100% participation in College Application Week last year. They turned in their data. They sent us pictures of their wonderful seniors. So they were chosen as our School of Excellence. So if you would like that to be you this year, please send me your data. And then we have FAFSA completion event November 16th to the 20th as well. We're partnering with MASFA and with the financial aid offices around the state to make sure that we can have some FAFSA nights to support you and your students as they're working to complete this most challenging part of the college application process. I did talk to Sheila about the MUS scholarships. She's traveling today, which is why she couldn't be here. So the MUS Honor Scholarship and the STEM Scholarship, it opens December 1st and closes March 15th, and all the regular requirements and rules apply. There's not a waived ACT requirement for that. So that is still in effect then for that. And my final plug is we are making a call for college access champions. So our office puts out a newsletter quarterly, and we celebrate some of the work that you guys are doing around the state, both at the K-12 level and the post-secondary level. If you know someone who is doing outstanding work, like Amy, please make sure that you send us their nomination. So you can go to our website, mus.edu/college-access, and everything is there. Our nomination form, college application week information, FAFSA completion information, a calendar with links to events. So please check it out and make sure you have submitted a nomination by Friday if you want them to be featured in this next round. Ange, did I miss anything?
No, I think you did great. Good work.
Okay.
I'm trying to
Awesome.
keep up with the chat too, but if you need anything, please let us know. Thanks so
Absolutely.
much.
Thanks, Amy.
Thank you guys. Thanks so much for being here and for all the good work you're doing. Again, I believe Derek from MUS is going to be part of the 9 a.m. Thursday financial aid gathering to talk a little bit about that financial aid week. So jump into that. Don't miss that. But thank you, MUS team, for all the good work you're doing. Appreciate you being here. All right. Next on our list, we have Montana Youth Apprenticeship Partnership. And we want to thank them also for their partnership and support and sponsorship of these events. This is the first time they've been part of this sponsorship level, but really excited to have them part of this event. And I think we have Jason with us today. Is that right?
Right. Yep. Thanks,
Hi,
Amy.
Jason. Good to see
And
you.
congratulations to you on that awesome award.
Wow.
So thanks for having me. As I look through the list here, I'm an old retired educator, and I see a lot of people that I worked with in the past. So I want to say hello to all of them, and I hope you're all doing well. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Montana Youth Apprenticeship Partnership, and Cole did a great job of talking about with the Registered Apprenticeship Program, which we also work with. But so I won't go over all the benefits again of youth apprenticeship, but I want you to know that Reach Higher Montana has under its umbrella the Montana Youth Apprenticeship Partnership, which is funded by a grant that we received, a national grant. And so we also work with schools to try to partner with businesses and post-secondary to establish youth apprenticeships throughout the state. We have outreach advisors throughout the state that I know work in a number of your schools that can help you with this, or I can help you with this. We're also putting on, I've got some presentations coming up. 2 o'clock seemed to be a popular time because I've got one today at 2 o'clock as well, tomorrow at 1, and then Friday at 11:30. So if you want to learn some more, be happy to visit with you about that. And I'm going to put my contact information in the chat as well, so that you can reach out to me individually if you would like to. So I appreciate being here, and thanks to all of you out there in the trenches they're doing great work. So thank you.
Thanks, Jason. And great to have you part of this. Excited to attend. I'm going to attend some of your sessions this week too. So thanks for offering those additional sessions. Awesome. All right. So next on our list, we have the Office of Public Instruction. And I think, do we have Robin connected today? I see you.
Yes, I am connected.
Hi, Robin. Welcome.
How are you doing? And congratulations.
Oh, thank you. I'm still lost for words. Thank you very much. It's great to have you here, Robin.
Yeah, I'm here to talk about 4 services that the Montana Office of Public Instruction offers to counselors to make their lives a little bit easy and to better enhance how you are able to work with students. I've talked with many counselors throughout the state of Montana on Amy's road shows and everything like that. And in talking to counselors, I found interest about our e-transcript initiative, our early warning system, our FAFSA initiative, and our GEMS data warehouse. Now, I'll just briefly touch on the first 3 and talk more in depth about the GEMS data warehouse. Our e-transcripts, we're still offering free transcripts to all Montana high school seniors who schools sign up for the e-transcript initiative and deliver us data, and then Parchment provides free transcripts. Currently, our contract is until 2021. But we are in the process of extending that contract out another 2 years. For our early warning system is a tracking system that allows you to track the probability of each of your students that they would drop out of high school. Now, we have various initiatives surrounding the early warning system. We're constantly accepting new participants in our early warning system. For example, comprehensive and targeted schools have been encouraged to participate in the early warning system. We're also doing research about the early warning system. We recently wrote a grant in order to gauge the effectiveness of the early warning system in predicting graduation. And we look forward to proceeding from there with the most accurate system that we can possibly have. Now, our FAFSA, we provide on our data warehouse, GEMS, we provide FAFSA data back to schools, counselors, and administrators. And what this data entails is whether a FAFSA has been received, what's the receipt date, if there's an error on the FAFSA, what is the FAFSA, what is the FAFSA error, et cetera, et cetera. Now, we're starting a little later this year. We've had some access problems from the U.S. Department of Education and the Office of the Commissioner of Higher Education here in Montana. We've had some access problems getting for them to get us the data. Usually we start compiling results in early October, but we hope by next week that we'll have all the FAFSA data for October in the system, so it'll be up to date. Now about GEMS. GEMS has been around for 10 years, and just talking to people throughout the state of Montana, counselors and administrators and some teachers, we kind of learned quickly that we had to engage in effort for GEMS modernization, and we have done a new web portal, and it's not yet ready to be released, but we are currently getting a variety of different inputs into the system. So it'll look very, very scaled down from the GEMS that you have seen in the past, at least the public side. We'll have an educator side where you'll have access to all your different data reports and data access. And with that, I'll leave it for questions.
Thanks so much, Robin. We are gonna end once we finish all these sessions. I'm gonna open it up for some live questions for anybody who has anything. So we'll come back. But if you have any questions for Robin right now, feel free to put it in the chat. If you have any other questions for any of the agencies, feel free to put it in the chat too, and we can get those answered. But we are gonna open it up for live questions before we close out today. So feel free, if you're brave, we can also have you ask your question live. But thanks so much, Robin, and thanks to OPI for all your team efforts as well. Again, we couldn't offer these events without you, so thanks for being here and sharing updates. All right, well, that brings us to Reach Higher Montana. They got like the saved last spot. So Steve, I see you there. I want to thank you for being patient as we come to you as our last official presenter today. I can't thank Reach Higher Montana enough for all their team efforts over the years as well, and partnership and sponsorship of this event, the virtual fairs, all that we do. Again, it's a team effort in this world, and we definitely appreciate the Reach Higher Montana team for all you do. So Steve, with you, welcome.
Thanks, Amy.
Thanks for being here. It's all yours.
Thanks a lot, and congratulations to you on the MASCA recognition. That's very well deserved.
Thank you.
So to the 100+ of you that are on, I'm Steve Koop with Reach Higher Montana, and I represent the western region of the state. In all, we have 5 outreach advisors. We have Mike Lincoln up in Northwest, myself in Western, Cullen Gilbreth is in South Central, Dan Wilkins represents us up in the North Central region, and Beth Bronk is over in our Southeast region. Unfortunately, we are still not able to have an active outreach representative in the Northeast region. But I want to ensure everybody that's on this that whether or not we have an outreach advisor dedicated to your region, your school in particular, our website is available to everybody. And our outreach folks, if you give us a call, shoot us an email, we are happy to do some outreach to you. This year, in light of COVID, we are doing a lot of push on social media. So we have 3 different Facebook groups that folks can join. The first one being just Reach Higher Montana. The second one being Parents Who Reach Higher. That's a site specifically for information to parents. And the third one is going to be Educators Who Reach Higher. So for all the counselors on here, if you don't want so many videos on how to write scholarships and that type of stuff, if you join the Educators Who Reach Higher, we will give you specific information as to scholarships that we're aware of, different presentations, conferences, things like that. It's a great resource. And of course, we continue to have our Instagram presence as well. On December 1st, we once again will have the Reach Higher Montana Scholarship. This year, we will be awarding 30 $1,000 scholarships to current high school seniors. To be eligible for it, they must have a 2.5 GPA, and they must be planning to attend any of the Montana colleges or universities, whether that be 2-year, 4-year, or tribal, or private. They must be planning to enroll in the fall of 2021. We will continue this coming year with our foster youth, the Foster Summit. This past year was very successful despite COVID. We did an entire online. So if you have foster youth who are looking at transitioning to higher education after high school, that are juniors or seniors, look for information on that coming out in January or February. And we also have the Stick with Scholarships program that hopefully counselors, you have received your packets from or for this year. If you have not received them, you should be getting them in your offices sometime this week. It opens November 1st and runs through the end of the month. This is the opportunity for your students to utilize a peer-designed sticker that we made selections on 6 of the winning ones last spring, and we have mailed those out. If the students simply take that sticker, it has something to do with attaining higher education after high school. If they take a picture of it on a water bottle, on their laptop computers, stuck to their lockers, anywhere they can think of, and ideally not stuck to their textbooks, but they are more of a static, so they can be removed. And if they upload the picture of that, we will be to our Facebook or Instagram. We will be selecting a winner of a $500 scholarship at the end of November for that as well. For those of you that want specific information on where you can focus or your students can focus, going back to our Facebook, on Tuesdays, every Tuesday at 3:45, our outreach folks will be doing live videos on a topic of the week. They range anywhere from scholarships to using MCIS, anything higher education and career related. On Wednesdays, we're focusing on universities and colleges in Montana, and on Thursdays, of course, we continue to offer a focus on usually 2 to 3 on Facebook scholarships, as well as other opportunities for scholarships for our students. The rest of this week at 2:30 today, I'll be going over in a special session our Reach Higher Montana website. It continues to grow and expand. There's some great opportunities and resources on there. Then tomorrow at 2 o'clock, for the counselors that know of students in their schools, or if they can get hold of someone who tracks students in foster youth, I will be doing a specific foster youth seminar. And then on Thursday at 11 a.m. scholarships, and at 2:30 a session for juniors and what they can do during their junior year to prepare for senior year and beyond. So Reach Higher Montana is here to help you. Please look forward, and I'm going to go ahead and put our social media and our website in the chat.
Thanks so much, Steve. Appreciate you being here and for all you're doing. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Amy.
Of course. Well, that brings us to the end of our presentations. And I know virtually it's hard to sit this long, so I can't thank all of you for hanging out with us all morning and early afternoon. We are in the final phases. There are a few things I would like to go around the room and share some final questions and then a few reminders, but then we'll be done for the day. I want to do a quick round of applause. If you have your mute, I want to unmute and do a round of applause for all of our agencies and all the incredible work they're doing. I can't thank them enough for all the support services and resources they're offering. If there's ever a time we need it, it's now, and we just want to thank you for all the good work you're doing. I actually, while some of the presentations were going on, I got a direct question from a counselor, and I'd like to kick off our open questioning with it. And of course, if any counselors, colleges, or agencies have questions you want to ask to the live group too, feel free. Maybe I'll get us started. But this question came to me directly from a counselor asking the agencies if they were to share a piece of advice with students in this COVID-19 time, what would they say? So I'd like to ask each of our agencies who presented today, who are still on the session, if you've got any wisdom or advice that you would share with students to get them through this time, what would you tell them? And if you'd rather post it in the chat, you could do that. But I open it up to you guys for any feedback you'd share with students right now. Anybody got any wisdom or resources, or what would you be sharing? Gosh, that's what I get for after lunch. That's what I get. Ask a hard question after lunch. I see that Steve put, can you do a quick plug for Montana College Attainment Network? Oh, well, not exactly the answer to the question, but definitely can do a plug for the Montana College Attainment Network. Let counselors know that they can join as individuals for $25, and there will be a conference, a virtual conference in March. Great, again, resource to look into if you're not part of it. How about that, Steve? I did the plug. Now you got to share some advice. What would you tell students in this time? And I think we still have you on mute.
What I've been telling students and continue to tell students, hopefully most of the counselors are too, is that despite COVID, there is a future for them. They really should continue to plan, do some self-evaluation. Tons of information has gone electronic now that they can follow, that they can research on. I frankly think students can almost be better prepared now because they have a little extra time and familiarity with those resources, and to encourage them to not give up hope, but to continue to look forward. The scholarships are still there and the educational opportunities.
Awesome. Thanks, Steve. Not to put you on the spot, but
I
thanks.
would like to have,
yeah, Mary Ellen.
I would like to let everybody know that really you should keep up with the LMI data, and the Economy at a Glance also has publications out there as to how this is affecting our economy. So I think we need to keep up to updated on what's happening with the job workforce so that we're able to help our students. So I think it's just everyone should, working with students and career development, should keep up on that information.
Awesome. Thanks, Mary Ellen. Thanks for sharing the insight. That's a great perspective. Keep that in mind. Shonda from American Indian College Fund says in her comment, higher education is a marathon, not a sprint. Keep your eye on the prize. You can do it. And I think that is true. Just giving students perspective. Anybody have anything else they would like to share as perspective to give hope to students in this time?
I would tell them to use this time to maybe explore some different opportunities, and just because they're going through kind of the stay at home oftentimes and not having the interaction, well, the rest of the world's experiencing that too. So there's probably plenty of people in this call that could make some time to have some one-on-ones if these students really wanted to reach out, follow up with someone. So it might be a chance for them to dig a little deeper into some of the stuff that they're thinking about before they make that final leap and totally commit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great feedback and great insight. Thank you guys for sharing. Feel free, if you have any other great insights, share them in the chat. Again, we're going to be sharing that chat out with everybody as a follow-up after today. And if you guys have any other questions, I open it up for anybody else to jump in and share some questions. We have about 10 minutes before we're officially supposed to close out. We can always close out early, but if anybody has any questions, I want to give a fair chance.
Hello, Amy. This is Joe. Can you hear me?
Joe. Yeah, we can hear you. Good to see you.
I don't have a question, but I just have a piece of information that for the counselors, if they have students that are Native or Indian, they are eligible for the Montana University System Native Student Tuition Waiver at any of the units for the Montana University System, both 4 years and 2 years. I think all they need is a one-page form and their certificate of need, and that will waive their tuition at that unit of the system they are attending, both 2 and 4 years schools.
Great. Yeah, thank you, Joe. Thanks for sharing that reminder and update. That's an important one. Thank you. Thanks for being brave and sharing. Anybody else have any updates they want to share before we close out with few last reminders, and then we'll close the day? Anybody else? I see counselors kind of starting to check out. So I do want to remind counselors, before you officially sign off, maybe sign in one last time with just your name. Let us know you were here as your last sign off. If there are no other questions at this time, feel free to post the questions. If anybody sees a question right now, feel free to answer it. Otherwise, I will send out the chat with all the answers, and any questions that didn't get asked, I will also send those out to all the colleges and agencies to try and get them answered for you. With that, I think it brings us to an official close. I do want to share a few last reminders before we leave. And so give me just a moment. I'm going to share my screen as just a few last things I want you all to keep in mind before we leave. First off, I want to, let's get to the right screen. I want to officially thank again all of our partners and sponsors, colleges, counselors who've come today to make this happen. We couldn't make it work without you. So big thanks to Gear Up, MUS, OPI, Reach Higher Montana, Montana Youth Apprenticeship Partnership, American Indian College Fund, Department of Labor, in the Career Lab, Montana School Counselors Association, and MAFSA. It takes a family to make these things happen. And to each and every one of your high schools, each and every one of the colleges that were here today, thank you. Agencies, we couldn't do it without you. I want to remind you about Thursday resource sessions. So if you really want to dive deeper into financial aid or admissions or scholarships, check those out. And then lastly, remember to submit your evaluation form. Don't forget that, that really helps us. And also don't forget to submit your credit lunch refund form. And then for those of you who are joining in with us tomorrow for the out-of-state colleges and specialized programs and military programs, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Otherwise, I also want to encourage you to be part of this virtual fair and help your students get connected. Again, with in-person events being canceled, they really have limited options right now. And we know this isn't perfect, but we hope it gives them some hope and gives them these live resources, or if they are too scared to attend the live events, there's 800 resource videos. And so definitely if you can help connect your students to this resource. I had a counselor ask me, well, do they have to attend the whole week? No, the event was created as a week to try and capture at least one block of time that would work with your schedule. We knew everybody's schedule was different. So pick a chunk of time and promote it to your students however works best for you. So with that, I want to thank all of you for everything that you do for education in Montana. We couldn't achieve this educational goal without all of you, and just so grateful for your team efforts, especially in this time. I leave you with a big thank you and just letting you know that we are here to help both colleges, agencies, schools, us coming together in this time. If anything I've noticed is that is the way that we're able to help students more, especially now. And if we can come together and help you in any other way, please let us know. Stay healthy, and we're excited to see you at the virtual events this week and meet and connect with your students. With that, I'm going to stay on this session for anybody who has any individual questions about the student virtual fair. Otherwise, you're welcome to disconnect, and I just want to thank you again for being part of this. It's an honor to share this time with you every year. Stay well, everyone. Thank you.